Hi, I'm Richard from Drive Green, and today we're going to spend a bit of time with the 2013 to 2017 Nissan Leaf. The Nissan Leaf is a giant in the EV market where for many years it was the best-selling electric car worldwide. I spent a lot of time with the Leaf and a lot of time with its owners, and I'm going to try and share the benefit of some of this experience with you now to hopefully help you decide whether maybe the Nissan Leaf might be the right electric car for you. The Leaf was the car that really started the electric car movement we know today. It was one of the very first lithium-powered electric cars when it was launched a whole decade ago in 2011. It was designed to be the everyman, super practical and affordable EV. It was and still is an extremely popular electric car. At its peak, when these cars were new, it was the best-selling electric car worldwide. Its huge success can be attributed to it being, well, the best game in town for many years. It's a very practical, well-made, great value car. If you're looking for a family-friendly EV, the Nissan Leaf is always going to be very, very hard to beat. The Leaf was designed to tick every practical box. At a time when there was so little choice in the EV marketplace, the Leaf really needed to appeal to almost everybody in practical terms. The true strength of the Nissan Leaf is it will pass every practical test you care to throw at it. It's a big car, but not too big. It's got 5 comfy seats, it's got a big boot, and it's even roof rack compatible. That and it's solidly made. These are the reasons why the Nissan Leaf is always going to be the firm family favourite. It is, however, not the most beautiful of cars. At least that seems to be the more popular opinion in my experience. It does not have the most attractive of bottoms, it doesn't really have that pretty a face either, and the design of the lights, both front and rear, do not do it any favours. But looks aren't that important for everybody when it comes to deciding what's right in a car. Practical considerations tend to be much more important. And where practicality is important to you, you cannot get much better than a Nissan Leaf. Although people can be quite mean about the Leaf and its looks, I personally think it's a future classic in the making. I often liken it to the Volkswagen Beetle, which at the time, was an unusual looking car. However, we celebrate it for its quirky looks. The Nissan Leaf, I think we will appreciate in exactly the same way. It's a brilliant car, which helps in the future classic department. Also, more importantly, it's the car that started the whole EV movement off, and I think we'll appreciate the car greatly for that fact. In years to come, I think we'll be talking to our children and grandchildren about the fact we were proud owners of a Nissan Leaf, how we owned one of the very, very first electric cars. The quality of the Nissan Leaf is very apparent in its interior. It's perhaps not the best looking interior per se, but it actually, it's undoubtedly well built and of a good quality, just like the rest of the car. It's also quite techy in its look, I feel. You've got a digital display, you've got the 2 screens, and you've also got the interesting little kind of mouse control for the gear selector. Back in 2011, when this car was first launched, it really was, I think, a glimpse into quite a techy future. Today we're driving a Nissan Leaf Tekna. The Tekna boasts this really, really high quality, very hard wearing, very nice leather interior. The Acenta, the slightly lower spec car, doesn't have the leather of course, it has a fabric interior. However, again, it's still quality made and the seats are really nice and comfy. The Nissan Leaf, especially in the early days, was a very well equipped car for the time. Even the lower spec Acenta version's got plenty of spec in it. If I run through the list, obviously you've got cruise control, speed limiter, you've got a very good inbuilt media center and sat nav. You've got a highly efficient heat pump control, climate control system. It's got a reversing camera as well, and comfort access. It even has a remote winter preconditioning time, so you can warm the car up before you can get into it on a cold winter's day. The higher spec Tekna, like this one here, also has heated front and rear seats, a heated steering wheel, which is really nice and like being given a hug in winter, and a rather snazzy 360-degree camera system, which includes front as well as rear camera and side cameras, which you can use to even zoom in on the curbside to see how close you are to the curb when parking. As well as that, the Tekna has some upgraded sort of diamond cut alloys, and it comes with a very nice Bose sound system. The Tekna in particular is a really nice place to be, there is no doubt. Drive-wise, the Leaf is a very comfy, refined cruiser. Quite often after a test drive, people will liken the feel of the Leaf to be more like what you'd expect from a premium Mercedes, for example. It's extremely smooth and comfy. It's not the most exciting of cars to drive, but then nor is it trying to be. That being said, you don't feel shortchanged performance-wise. Got plenty of oomph for going up hills and overtaking, and it's nice and zippy for roundabouts and pulling out at junctions. The Leaf drives with a very confident competency. It's a very nice car to drive, and it's a very nice car to be driven in. The Leaf has two driving modes. You've got the D mode, which drives much like a normal car. You know, you lift off the accelerator and the car will coast. You then have the B mode. Now the B mode, you lift off the accelerator and the car will do much of the braking for you. This slows the car at the same time as putting a charge back into the battery for you. It's what's known as regen braking. Now it's not really a one-pedal driving style, but definitely in the B mode you'll use the brake a lot less. It does foster a very careful, well-planned, sort of sedate kind of driving style. And for me, when I'm driving the Leaf, I would always put it in the B mode because I think it's the nicer style to drive in. The car also has an eco mode, which does extend the range of the car a bit. However, it does this at the expense of motor power. And when you are used to the Leaf's normal nippy driving, it suddenly feels a bit like driving through treacle. However, it's quite fun when you take it off. It's like hitting a turbo boost button. Obviously, you'll only use the eco mode if you're pushing the limits of the range of the vehicle, which most of the time you won't be. So most of the time you'll just be driving the regular sort of D&B mode, which is a nice zippy mode to be driving in. Between 2013 and 2017, the Nissan Leaf was available in two battery sizes, the 24 kilowatt and the 30 kilowatt. Right now we're driving a 30 kilowatt Leaf, which in my experience will give you about 100 miles worth of driving range. It is possible to achieve more. It's also possible to do less, depending on your time of year driving and particularly your driving style. But personally, I think on that long drive, 100 miles is comfortably achievable. The 24 kilowatt model, however, I would say does more, about 70 to 80 miles based upon, again, driving style and conditions and time of year. There is an earlier model of the Leaf, which we're not really covering here. Within the industry, we refer to it as the Gen 1 Nissan Leaf. This was the car that was launched in 2011 and is the car that really started the EV movement off. This car also carries a 24 kilowatt hour battery, but it's had a different battery chemistry, and it was really a prototype for the EVs that we're now driving today. The Gen 1 Leaf, I think, probably does maybe about 50 miles worth of driving range, potentially less. There are also some other issues with it. Like I say, it was a prototype car. My advice would be, if you can, to avoid the Generation 1 Nissan Leaf and step up a little bit budget-wise into what we refer to as the second generation, so the 2013 onwards, 24 kilowatts and then the 30 kilowatt ones. I do, however, really appreciate the Gen 1 Nissan Leaf because it did start the whole movement off. However, it is a slightly inferior beast. The Gen 1 Leaf is easy to identify. Rather than being made in Sunderland in the UK, like the next generation was, this car was made in Japan. It has a very pale interior and a smaller boot, and plate-wise runs from 2011 to the first half of 2013. Although the Leaf doesn't perhaps have the longest range of any EV, it is, however, a really good, capable, long-distance driving electric car. The reason for this is it's so incredibly well supported on the UK rapid public charging network. This is particularly true on the motorway network, where it is very well supported. Nissan partnered with Ecotricity when Ecotricity were installing our UK motorway network of charge points, and as a result of which every single motorway service station has at least one charge point that can charge your Nissan Leaf. This makes long distance driving and planning for long distance driving very, very simple. As long as you're driving on the motorway network, you just need to stop at the services when you want to or when you need to. There's a reason why the Nissan Leaf has been so successful. It's a really good car. It drives nice, it's very practical, and it's extremely good value. It's a car that's hard to find fault with. And if you're looking for a family-friendly EV on a budget, it really is hard to beat the mighty Nissan Leaf. Well, I hope this video has been useful in helping you find out a little bit more about the Nissan Leaf. If you'd like to know any more, if you'd like to arrange a test drive, please do not hesitate to get in touch. And please be sure to check out our other Nissan Leaf videos. Thanks ever so much for watching.